Welcome back to Primetime News.
And a special welcome once again to our viewers on TVJ International in the Cayman Islands and online at onespotmedia.com.
First up this evening, the opposition PNP has chided the government for the budget it presented, arguing it is out of touch with the economic hardships facing Jamaicans.
Opposition spokesman on finance, Julian Robinson, gave his contribution to the budget debate on Thursday and outlined counter proposals to government's tax package.
Details in this report from Andrea Chisholm.
Hundreds of Jamaicans are still struggling to find food and shelter following the devastation caused by Hurricane Melissa.
So when I listened to the minister's presentation, it did not address the scale of the disaster we face. It read like a budget being business as usual.
But for the opposition, that cannot be the case. Julian Robinson took issue with the $18 billion in additional taxes.
The government's chosen response is to extract more revenue from an already financially stressed population. That does not sustainably address the fiscal challenge.
The correct move, he says, is to stimulate the economy for people to recover. For one, a PNP administration would not pull $11.4 billion from the NHD at this time. It would use the money to build houses.
Construction workers get employment. The hardware suppliers go and get orders. The truckers go and get work. Money begins to circulate within communities. And that circulation of money will trigger and help to deal with the recovery that the country needs.
So what about the revenue gap?
The first source of this revenue would be this electronic invoicing system, which we estimate would generate an additional $8.6 billion in tax revenues.
The proposed electronic invoicing system would be implemented by Tax Administration Jamaica, instead of waiting on businesses to upload their sale transaction records for the tax authorities to verify.
The transaction data is captured and transmitted immediately to TVJ automatically at the point of sale. The government is no longer relying on voluntary compliance. The information flows directly and is matched automatically against what has been declared and remitted. The scope for under-collection shrinks considerably because the data is already there, verified and auditable.
The opposition spokesman on finance says the model has been successful in Mexico, Uruguay, Peru, and Chile, which all collected more money in taxes. Next up, a digital nomad program. It's a special legal permit allowing remote workers from other countries to live and work in Jamaica. Similar programs have been successful in Barbados and 6 other Caribbean countries.
And we are proposing a fee of $2,000 for a 12-month period. And we have estimated of the 4 million tourists that we would be able to get 5,000 of these digital nomads coming to stay in Jamaica in the first year. That would generate in the fees alone approximately $1.5 billion. But the fees only tell part of the story. If I estimate that in Jamaica, an average 6-month stay could yield a spend of $25,000 US, which is about $4,000 a month. Jamaica could realize the economic benefit of $125 million US or 19.5 billion Jamaican dollars.
Wow.
The opposition is also proposing to take an extra $1 billion from the surplus of the Bank of Jamaica, bringing the total to $10 billion, and another $1 billion from the Factories Corporation of Jamaica. $2 billion would also be available if the Airports Authority of Jamaica delays the expenditure to build a new corporate head office. As for the remainder of the money to fund the budget, the opposition suggests it could be borrowed by issuing treasury bills. That, he said, would not significantly increase Jamaica's debt to GDP ratio. Andrea Chisholm, TVJ News.